education, how does it come without a slide and a presentation? So we speak about it. What is lifelong learning? We all grew up listening, finished 10th, the life is sorted. Then fast forward 12th, life is amazing. Competitive exams, life is amazing. Then you end up being in a college. Then comes the biggest monsters of your life, friends. Who tells you, why only one degree? Go for another degree. Is that what the life is? Is lifelong learning relevant to individual or is it to corporations? Look into this. Let's glimpse into the couple of other slides later. Let's start with corporations. Multi-billion-dollar companies. They were doing amazingly well at one point in time. But there's one thing that they missed. The generations changed. The expectations changed. The need changed. The demand changed. They could not cope up with. What happened exactly next? They finally don't exist today, or even if they exist today, the version of it is completely changed. That's one side of it. What is that they missed? The biggest mantra of this generation, which is learn, unlearn, and relearn. That's the biggest and the most important thing in today's world, that you need to be able to adapt to the changes that's happening and evolve and grow along with it. Think about this. The world is changing so fast. In the last 1.5, 2 years, writing skills have become automated. In the last few days, our all Instagrams are all full with Ghibli art. Imagine this happens to you. You are super mastered into something, and suddenly one day you wake up in the morning and those skills are automated. You have two options in front of you. Just do as is what you were doing before, but that's not what the world wants. Second option is learn, use the technology, automate the repetitive tasks, whatever the world is telling you to do today, and move on. That's something that you're supposed to do. That's the whole purpose, and that's what, if a lot of talk about AI, right? I think AI is not here to replace humans. AI is here to help humans. A lot of things that we today do manually, again and again, needs to be automated. A lot of emails that we send today, right, on what we were sending before, right, requires a lot of things to be done. Now, write the framework of it, tell ChatGPT to create it for you. The email is there, the document is there for you, and you are there to do whatever you want with that document. Even these two noble people have spoken great things about lifelong learning and education, right? See, we are all in the school of life, and the life throws problems at you, challenges at you. What are you supposed to do with it? You have to find solutions to it, overcome it, and move on. That's life. You have to continue to learn, continue to evolve and grow, because the day you stop learning, the day you stop challenging yourself, is the day you become irrelevant. And that's what happened to those organizations. That's what happened to a couple of roles that we were working in. And that is something that is what we're here for, right? I'll talk something about me. Engineering graduate, hardcore electrical electronics engineering, joined Mahindra and Mahindra Engines, given a full mechanical work. A funny incident, after a month-long training, they told us to, now this is the engine in front of you, go dismantle it. Let's study each part one by one. Okay, fine, let's go ahead and do it. We did it. It took us like a few hours to dismantle the engine. Fine. Now all that is done, the study is done. Now the next task, assemble the engine back. This you should have told us before. So by the time we assembled that engine back, the other engine got dismantled. Because we were pulling off parts from that engine and putting it back here, because we really didn't know which part is where. So that's what teaches you, that's the problem that it came in front of us. Now we knew that 2 days exercise of assembling it back, that was a clear direction to us. It meant to be. It was the whole purpose and how we need to do it. Fast forward, I moved into use upgrades, more of business roles, engineering background, coming into business roles, talking about suddenly numbers. What are we talking about? What are these? How do we manage this? And suddenly when you come to these profiles, instead of managing all these machines, you start managing people. You start managing situations. Now that's what the motion, I mean the mindset which came to me also, that let's learn how do you handle people, because as when you grow in your career and more and up the ladder, you've actually managed situations and people only. Different problems thrown at me: sales teams, business teams, marketing functions, zero knowledge of digital marketing, branding. Here is a problem statement in front of you. You have 100 crore to spend. Where would you spend? Go back to the data, understand what worked for us, does not work for us. Let's focus, let's find what is right for you, what is not right for you. Suddenly that 100 crore, just few examples and numbers to give you, that 100 crore suddenly become 80 crores. Get the same. You will have to find ways to make it work. Obviously, in a right way. Now, these are the problems that comes in front of you. Fast forward, I started looking after product, engineering. Now, engineering was more of coding. Handling large teams where coders comes and gives you timelines, that everything is large projects. Product manager makes you believe that this is a 2-year long activity. And there's a board given you a target, you need this number, and you know that this cannot happen without this tool in place. You stitch these things together and finally make it happen. So you have to learn every day in your life, be it your skill set, be it technical knowledge, be it situation management, be it people management, be it timeline management, is something that is very, very critical to achieve what you finally want to achieve. Now, I was at Upgrad, a higher education company, EdTech. People come there after graduation. Now we've started talking to people. What is the challenge? Why are you don't want to upskill yourself? What is that going in your mind? We spoke to thousands of people, hundreds of people. 3-4 problems that came to us. We don't have time. We are busy in our work schedule. We leave from home at 9 a.m. in the morning. By the time we come back, it's already 8 p.m., 9 p.m. There is no time to work. There is no time to study. Now that's where the challenge is. How do you handle this kind of conversation? We went back, created smaller modules. Instead of hours of lectures, we converted them into smaller 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of modules, which you can consume at any interval of the day. That solves the purpose, because now you don't need to sit together and watch a 1 hour of lecture. Now that's where you have time. You have to find those 10 minutes. Now, coming back outside of grad, in our life, we talk to multiple people, right? So many people around us. You need that confidence to be the part of the conversation. You need every day you have to figure out 10 to learn about some industry, some segment, some sector, some fields, so that you become more relevant to any such conversation that you're part of. That gives you a lot of confidence to join those conversations. Now, that is where you need to find those 10, 15 minutes a day. Pick up one module every single day. In 365 days, you will be 365 units ahead of what you were of today. That is very, very critical. And you have to find that, I mean, so many things, right? While we all grew up, we didn't have time to go back. Maybe I wanted to learn music. You don't have time. You have your education, you have engineering, you have IITs, you have MBAs, CATs going on. Now figure out those 10 minutes that you can go back to your passion and solve it. Instead of doing it in 2 months, it might take a year, but that's absolutely fine. You have a big career in front of you. Do it. Degree. I completed my education. Why should I study more? But I think there is one side of the education that, I think I've also touched that topic also. While we do our education, pretty much those 12, 15, 20 years of our life, we stick around with same set of people. We spend time, we play, our homes are near, we spend time with a similar mindset of people most of the time. The moment you come to your corporate world, right, that's the time when you start dealing with multiple types of people with different mindset, different culture, different language, different skill. Now that's where you need to have that education, you need to have that skill set. And when I mean education, I don't mean a technical education, but it's anything which makes you much more relevant, which makes you much more confident to have that conversation with people. That's very, very important. Last thing I want to speak about this is experience. A lot of people with a lot of experience think that, why should I learn now? I am already 30 years experience in my industry. New age skills, new age people, different mindset. We were all talking about 6-day work week. Suddenly the world is talking about 3 days work week, 2 days work week. I think a couple of days ago, there was an article from Bill Gates that in 10 years from now, AI will automate a lot of things that humans will only be needed to teach machine what needs to be done and what needs to be done exactly. And then that's when we'll move to 2 days work week. That whole mindset, that experience that you carry is something, I think we all can be neurosurgeons in our own ways to correct our mindset, what we want to do. And what I have personally seen in my career, most of us, when we go into recruitments, we hire people who are lookalike of us. And that is something that we need to change, because we need to hire people who can complement us, not someone who look like us, because that's when not your problems will be solved and organizations will grow. People who will support you, who will complement you in different skill sets and different approaches are the ones who will help you grow the organization, grow yourself personally as well. Now, before I conclude, let's do a small exercise. I'm sure some of you maybe come across this in the past as well, but let's put the alphabets in English in the similar chronological order of numbers. Let's see what happens. Knowledge. Any knowledge is never complete. It does not take you to where you want to be. You have to keep learning, you have to keep growing. That's the way to go. There comes something which takes you one step or two steps ahead of knowledge. That's your effort, that's your hard work, that's the input that you put in. That takes you to 98. Still not there. There's one thing that you need to reach where you want to be. Any guesses? Attitude. The attitude to learn, the attitude to be open to learn from juniors, to peers, to colleagues, to people around. And accepting the failures, I think, are the very, very critical facts in the life. The moment you accept it is the moment you keep growing and keep learning, and that's the way. That's all I want to communicate, and I hope all of you are ready with this approach. Thank you.